guys, welcome to my channel over here where today we are going to try out just a couple new high-end products. We have Makeup Forever, Hourglass, and Gvxe Beauty. The Gvxe Beauty product was actually something I chose as a points product, not one I purchased. And then we have the Makeup Forever 2 products purchased and 1 Hourglass product purchased. So please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button before you leave and make sure you have that bell notification on because this is just first impressions and I always do a speed reviews video. Sometimes it's at the end of the month of when I try these products. Other times it takes me longer to try them out more depending on how many products I've tried throughout that month and get my final thoughts. That's what a speed review is, just giving you my very final thoughts. This is just first impressions, my first thoughts on these products. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so because our complexion is gonna be pretty light, we just went in with a pretty light, relatively eye look. I just went in, oh, and on my lips, we'll start with this first, the Summer Fridays lip balm. I love this stuff. It's so amazing. I recommend picking it up. I'm still trying to figure out the Rare Beauty eyeshadow sticks. Where's the shade? Compassion is the shade I have. I'm actually going to be picking up a drugstore one that I've heard no one talk about, and we're going to try it in a first impression drugstore version video, and I'm going to compare it to this one because I'll tell you guys now, I'm still gathering my thoughts. That's why you guys haven't seen this in my recent speed reviews. If I can find a drugstore version, I would buy a drugstore one over this. That's so far my little bit of thoughts. It's not definitely a favorite, but I'm still trying it out in different ways, trying to fill it out. So hopefully in my next coming up speed reviews, I'll have my final thoughts for you guys and I can tell you my thoughts on it. All right, and then I just went in the eyes with Natasha Denona. I used this as my first shade, then went in with a little bit of that in the outer corner, and then both of those together on the lower lash line. Like I said, the base is light, so we're gonna kind of keep it light. And we're gonna try on one side with a brush and the other side with a sponge. I usually, no matter what, will go back over with my sponge to just kind of blend everything together. And I zoomed you guys on in so you can see. I have started, I used to, when I did first impressions, would set everything regardless. I only do that now during my first impression videos if I have a new spray or powder to try. We don't have it new, so we're gonna just not set anything. The concealer, the complexion product, and I do have a walk to take, so we will see how it holds up. It's not too hot today, it's not too humidity or anything like that, so we'll see how it holds up without being set. And then as I try these products throughout the month, I'll set in this way, that way. I'll use a powder puff, I'll use a brush, I use different ways. So make sure you smash that subscribe button because I will let you guys know my final thoughts and speed reviews. This is just based off of first time using it, first impressions, what I think about the products. All right, so for complexion, we're gonna jump in with the new Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. It's supposed to be, I have in shade 6. It's supposed to be a light to medium buildable coverage skin tint, and it's supposed to be hydrating, good qualities to have when you have dry skin like myself. What you see on my face, like I said, is no primers or anything. It's legitimately just my skincare, my moisturizer, my serums, my sprays, my toners, and my SPF. So packaging, let's talk about packaging real quick because I'm a sucker for packaging. This is so stinking cute. Like, I love this. I just love Hourglass packaging. I have a lipstick of theirs that I really like. The packaging's cute. So definitely A+ for packaging. It says to shake it really well, and it's a squeezy tube. I did go ahead and swatch it when I got it to see what the shade looked like because I was like, I didn't think I got 6. I think it will match. I think it will blend in. And being a skin tint, it's going to be lighter coverage. So we're just going to, I don't know how much, and it says it can be buildable. So we're going to go in on this side with the brush, and I'm using my A24 from the Ario and Ariel and Morphe line foundation brush. I don't use this too often for foundation. I actually like to use it more for my liquid bronzer and contour, that stuff. So we're gonna go in one side. Okay, if my face wasn't already really hydrated, I feel like it would definitely give a hydrated look. It's definitely light coverage. like that didn't really cover much of anything. You can still see textures. You can still see my sun damage. You can see everything, my redness, but I also put a really light layer on. But it does look really nice. Like it feels super lightweight. Doesn't feel like I have anything on the skin. And I feel like it's making my skin look super healthy. I'm liking it based off of first impressions. Is it worth the price though? Because I do have my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint that does, I feel like, cover a little bit more. We are going to build it up to see if we can build it. It looks really pretty on the skin. So it did cover some. It is a lighter coverage. Redness there. You can see some pores. It's a little bit more blurred and smooth on this side. Like I said, I have the Danessa Myricks one, which I absolutely love. Like, I cannot stop using that. Like, I've had to force myself to put it down. So, is it worth the price point? That's something that I will have to get back to you guys on in a speed reviews. I feel like it, like I said, it's definitely hydrating. We're going to go now on this side with my sponge and see if there's a difference of coverage using your sponge or your brush. Definitely is hydrating. It's very skin-like. I think that attributes to the fact you're not getting much coverage, which I'm okay with. I know some people like to have more coverage. I'm okay with a lighter coverage. Like, I've definitely have dived more into the lighter coverage realm this summer. I've kind of just embraced my skin and what it is. Okay, this is really pretty though. I do have to say, it looks really pretty on the skin. Like I said, very hydrating. So you could probably get away with not, I mean, I still moisturize, but I used my Holy Grail moisturizer because I know it works really well. And I wasn't sure how hydrating. It was labeled as a hydrating skin tint, but I think I could probably use, like, say, my Good Miracles moisturizer that is not as hydrating, because this gives some nice hydration. It looks very, very skin-like. My pores are blurred and smoothed, so I really do think it looks pretty. Do I think the sponge gave more coverage? Or, I mean, do I think the brush gave more coverage over the sponge is what I mean. I'm just going to go back over this one. I don't think so. I think it doesn't matter which method you use. So whatever your preferred method is. Now we're just going to go over on the forehead. Go ahead and use. I don't see a difference in the coverage. But wow, you guys. It's very, very hydrating. And I don't feel like you need a lot. And that's another thing, you know, throughout the month, I will experiment with using less, using more, even though I don't think I need to experiment with using more with this product. But speaking of just in general, when I do my speed reviews, I will experiment with the amount too, and then let you guys know in my speed reviews how much you do need. But I like it. I like it. Based off of first impressions, I definitely do like it. I think it looks gorgeous on the skin. We'll see how it wears. I'll let you know in a speed review. It's just, Hourglass is expensive, and I feel like I almost get the same effect with my Danessa Myricks. Maybe not as smoothing or blurring in the pore area, and not as maybe like skin like glass skin look. My Danessa Myricks is more like a glowy type of look. This I feel like just looks like your skin. I get a little bit more coverage with the Danessa Myricks, but this is pretty. I'm just not sure it's worth $50. All right, we're gonna jump in real quick with the mascara. And this is the Gvxe Beauty. Like I said, I got it as a points, and this is a lengthening and lifting. So I didn't use my eyelash curler because, I mean, I usually use it every day when I do my makeup. However, I want to just, again, I don't want to give these products anything that would help it, and a curler would help it because, as you can see, I don't got much lashes. Here's the wand. So definitely a ballpoint, interesting wand. I've only came across a couple of these in my collection of trying out products. So let's go ahead. Okay, so it's definitely a wet formula. And I feel like using the ballpoint on the ends, at least for my lashes, would be beneficial. Because I have the hooded eyes and my lashes definitely don't help that sometimes. Okay, it's definitely giving me some good length and volume. I feel like because it is a very wet formula, it's going to not necessarily clump together, but some of these lashes are sticking together and I'm trying to separate them. It's working a little, but I think as it's opened a little bit more, it might dry out because some of these wetter formulas, they dry out better and then they work better, you know, they perform better. So with and without, I definitely see a difference. And I normally like a wet formula, but I don't like it when it's too wet. And I feel like this one's a tad wet for my liking at the moment. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see once it dries out. And also with mascara, I have to see if it's gonna smudge, flake, especially because we're not gonna set the under eyes. With the concealer we are trying today, we are gonna, again, give no help to any of these products. And I do have to say the first eye I did, this one over here, it definitely has lashes that weigh heavily down. They don't lift very well, even with like some of my favorite mascaras. So I have to keep that in mind. I feel like every eye is different too, and every lashes are different. I want to try those cluster kiss lashes, but I don't know. If you guys have tried them, let me know if they're worth it. See, I feel like maybe it's an eye thing too, because that one, there was no clumping or sticking together, and that one gave a little bit of stickness with the lashes sticking together, but I do like it. It's not bad. We'll try it out some more, and I'll update you guys in a speed review. Okay, so now we have a new concealer, and basing off of the color of that skin tint, this might be a tad dark, but we're gonna make it work. I'll go in with a brush, and then usually what I do when it's too dark is I will take my sponge and kind of mesh them together under the eyes to kind of hopefully blend the two colors together. But it is the new Makeup Forever HD Skin. It's supposed to be anti-creasing, medium coverage. It's supposed to be long wearing. Let's see if there's anything else on here. It's supposed to be smooth and blurring. And I have mine in the shade 2.2N. So a neutral color. When I swatched it, it didn't look too neutral. That's the shade there. It looks more darker. That's why I'm like, ooh, I think it's gonna be a tad darker than our base product, but we're gonna go with it. And again, I have nothing under the eyes to help it. Like I typically go in with a face primer. It's directed as a face primer, but I do like to use it. I'm gonna use my Gvxe Beauty brush here as a primer for my under eyes because it really does smooth and blur my under eyes. But we're not doing that today. We are giving this no help. Like I said, I used to do that. I used to give help to the products, but I'm like, you know what? No, from now on in the first impressions, we're not. So right off the bat, it's very, very thin, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. We'll see. Sometimes thin concealers crease easier. And as far as creasing goes for me, I have fine lines, wrinkles. I'm almost 38. So really, honestly, I look at how much it creases and how quickly a concealer creases because pretty much every concealer creases on me. But I like it. It blended very easily, and I actually think it's blending in between our foundation or our skin tint and our concealer just fine. So without concealer and with, I definitely think it's medium coverage, and I have dark circles. I didn't put an eye brightener on or anything. And it blended very easily and very well with this brush. Like it's already blended out. It looks nice. We shall see if it creases. Probably will. I mean, like I said, very few don't crease on me. I can't even give you guys the name of the products that don't, because I'm pretty sure everyone creases. It's just a matter of how much on my skin. But it's very, very thin. It's like almost water thin. But I do like it based off of first impressions. I think the shade is a good match with other foundations or skin tints, but this one, it's a tad dark. I am still gonna go ahead and go over with my sponge just to make sure that it's cohesively all blended together, but I feel like it is. I feel like I can't, in my mirror, see where my concealer starts and my foundation ends. And I don't think you guys can either because it's not that hard, but really, really nice. We are so like juicy looking today. I like it. It's really nice. So first impressions off of that one, I do like that one as well. I feel like it's good coverage. It felt really nice, watery and thin. I felt like it spread easily. Did it blur or smooth? Let's look. Maybe slightly. I don't see like a significant difference as far as blurring or smoothing on the under eyes. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the camera real quick. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this real fast because it's just bronzer. I'm gonna go in with my Max Radiant Skin Finish and Medium Golden bronzer. And then we're gonna go in with the new blush that we have. And I'm using the A21. Sometimes I'll go off camera. Other times I'm like, nah, might as well just apply it. Or sometimes I'll just speed the video up too. But this is a really pretty bronzer. It's one that I've definitely really been enjoying this summer. It gives a beautiful radiance. And this is a nice brush to use for that as well. You can use the tip like I am, or you can use just the sides. It's really, really nice. I actually, got some Gvxe Beauty brushes. I mean, I've already used some, but an eye set and their bronzer blush, and the eye set that I got is for small hooded eyes, and that brush set is to die for. Like, I should have used it in this video to share with you guys. I don't know why I did it because I love it. Like, great brushes. We will use it though. I have a drugstore first impressions video coming up as well. I will use them in that one because we have a new eyeshadow to try. All right, one more new product and then we are done. It is new from Makeup Forever. It is their Artist Blush. I was kind of surprised by the size here. It's 0.14 ounces. I don't know, it just kind of shocked me. It's a very small size. And it's supposed to be a skin-fusing, buildable, intensifying blush. And I have mine in Limitless Berry. I showed these products on, which platforms? Instagram and TikTok, that these were going to be upcoming for a video. And I've swatched it when I first got it, and I swatched it for those videos. It does look really pretty. It looks really smooth. So there's the shade. I mean, that's really pretty, you guys. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully not too intense, because again, we're trying to go for, you know, just a very subtle look. So we're gonna start out with just a little. Tap off. Something I also learned from Lisa J from Gvxe Beauty is you don't want to tap your brushes off on a hard surface like this because you can ruin the handles. You want to tap it off on like your hand, your finger. I don't know why I was using that. Something like that. So I didn't really think about that, but that sounds about right. I have a piece of hair stuck. Oh, come on. This is what happens when you don't have your face set. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use this small one, and we're gonna start. Oh yeah, that's intense. However, I think we can get it blended out. I didn't put too much on. And I like to leave my blush and bronzer up a little bit higher. As I'm getting older, your face kind of goes down. And I feel like if you drag your blush when you get up a little bit high, you know, older, if you drag it down a little too much, it can drag your face down. And then I will bring it down a little, but that's like when I'm then blending to kind of diffuse it. That's really pretty. It definitely looks beautiful. Now, I almost feel like it's got a little bit of like a radiance to it. However, I can't tell because my skin is so dewy. I feel like when it got swatched too, if you guys notice in that swatch, it looked like it had a little bit of a radiance, but my face is so glowy that I can't tell if it's the face or if it's the product. Now, sometimes when you swatch something, it looks different than when you apply it to your face, but that blended out really, really nicely. Like at first when I applied it, it definitely was a little intense. But once I got it blended, I feel like it kind of lightened up and we were good to go. Now, I wouldn't mind an intense blush like that on a day where I'm going for that look. I'm just trying to keep everything light today because we have a light coverage base. And so I was not sure though. That's what first impressions is about, you know, how much to apply. I would say if you want a very intense blush look, I barely tapped in to my product with the blush. So you can kind of fill it around. Also depends on what type of brush you are using. If you're gonna get like an intense look or if you're going to get more of a subtle look. I used a bigger brush to give me that less intense look, and I was able to blend it out pretty well. So here's what our face looks like, and that is the end of our products. So real quickly, let's go over the products. So let's look real quick too at that concealer. For not setting it has not creased yet, so I'm very impressed with that. I'm excited to give this more of a try. I really do like their new powder foundation they came out with this past year. So, and I also liked their HD Skin Liquid foundation. I just like the powder one more. Definitely not bad, not bad. I'll definitely give it a good try. And then again, this I have to definitely see how it's gonna wear throughout the day, especially on my walk, if it's gonna smudge, flake. Mascaras, I can give you like a first thoughts on what it did to my lashes, but final thoughts as far as if it's one I'm gonna really like is gonna always have to be in a speed review. Not bad though, not bad. And then we have the skin tint. Like I said, I have to really weigh it as far as is it worth the money, because Hourglass is expensive. And again, I'm obsessed with my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin, so I'm not sure if it's worth it. I feel like maybe there might be another high-end one that's a little bit cheaper, or even drugstore that might compare to this. So for me, I really like the finish. I definitely would powder. I'm not doing it just because I want to give the full effect for you guys for this video. But tomorrow when I wear it, I will definitely powder. I might powder all of it, and I might powder just, you know, the T-zone one day. And it's also going to depend on what powder, if you keep this healthy glow, or if it's going to go all matte, or what's going to happen. So it also all depends on what products you put on top, what products you put underneath when it comes to a complexion product. But I do like it. It's really pretty. I definitely see myself reaching for it a lot, especially towards the end of the summer here. I've been, like I said, really into the lighter skin tints, but it's a hefty price tag. So we shall see. Stay tuned for speed reviews. And then last one is the Makeup Forever Artist Blush in Limitless Berry. I think the shade is beautiful. You can definitely get an intense. You can definitely get more of a subtle look. It kind of depends on the tool you use, how much you use, how, you know, much you blend. I do blend that just a little bit more than I normally would, just because I want it to be very subtle, because we have the subtle look we're going for today. But there are days I like an intense blush look. But I really do like it. I think it's pretty. We'll try it next time with less of a glowy product to see if it is a radiant type of blush. I didn't see anywhere online or on the packaging with it saying if it's a radiant finish. So it very well could just be the base. That's why I want to try it with more of a skin natural like foundation, or more of a soft matte foundation, to see what it is, if it's the product or the complexion product. But that's it, guys. It was just a few products I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and have that bell notification on so you're notified of all my uploads, especially the speed reviews. That's when I will finally give you my final thoughts and let you know yay or nay, which in essence, it's really good, great, or failed categories that I put in that video. Thank you guys all so much. I'll see you here very soon. Bye.